So we're going live right now, and I'm just making sure that we're actually live before we start the episode. And we're just gonna check right now. We are live. We're officially live. This is amazing. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to BatYard's Finest, bringing you the finest of Batman and Superman in pop culture. It's been a long time since I said that. I almost fumbled it. From BatYard Productions, I am Josh. Here today with two awesome co-hosts. We'll go in order.
What's up? I'm Matt. How you guys doing?
Returning once again, I'm Jerry.
Jerry, thank you for coming on again. This is the portion of the episode where we kind of reflect on like BSBS and DC news. Before I want to get into news, I wanted to wholeheartedly apologize for the audio issues that we had last episode. That was like 2 weeks ago. Right now I'm in the middle of a move, so that's why it took us a little bit to get back on track. But I am moved now, so everything should be running smoothly. But I wanted to apologize about Jerry's audio because for some reason, well, I know the reason. It's a little technical, but his audio wasn't heard throughout the episode. So I just wanted to ask you, because people are probably curious what your thoughts were on the Mortal Kombat movie that we watched last week. So I just wanted to get like a quick rundown of your thoughts and like a quick review of what you thought of Mortal Kombat, because you had the most information about this series and about the characters. So I really want the people out there to hear what your thoughts are, because you're more of a Mortal Kombat fan than I am. Matt knows a little bit more information than me. I think it kind of goes up the ladder. Like you're like you had the most knowledge of the three of us. So yeah.
I'll just keep it real short and simple. If you want a good fight movie, I definitely recommend it. If you're a fan of the series, it does have its flaws, but even within that, it's still a pretty decent movie. And I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not going to go into the characters, anything else. It was a half decent movie. If you can watch it for free, I would definitely say watch it for free.
Yeah. No, that's an awesome rundown. Like I said, if you guys have like more questions from to Jerry about like the specifics about each character, definitely let us know in the comments below, and we'll answer them for next episode. Jerry has a knowledge of Mortal Kombat. I'm just a novice. I just know you rip each other's spines out and fatalities. That's basically all I know about Mortal Kombat. I can't tell you anything about the story or anything like that. So if you want the expert, Jerry is your man, and I would get more information from him if you can, because he knows what he's talking about. Jerry, I appreciate that. Is there any BSBS you guys want to talk about, or any news? I got a few little clips, snippets, but I wanted to let you guys talk first.
I actually did have a little bit of news. I don't know if anybody's heard it, but Moon Knight is apparently supposed to get something on Disney Plus next year.
What? I didn't know that. That's rad. I didn't hear that at all. Is it live action or is it like animated?
I think it might be live action, but it could be animated. Cool. I'm not sure. I didn't do too much research into it. I just happened to see it and I forgot. I was like, oh, I need to save this. And like 20 minutes later, I'm like, oh my God, I forgot to save it.
That is super cool. Okay, I didn't know that. I don't know much about Moon Knight. I just kind of know he's like sort of the Batman of Marvel, but not really. That's all I really know about Moon Knight. I like how he looks. Like, he looks pretty cool and pretty sleek. You know, I like his look. I don't know really much about it. And I think if they connect it to the Marvel universe, it'll be a nice connection, like a nice introduction, because I want to know more about this character. I read a little bit of the Ultimate Spider-Man comics and like the Ultimate Universe, like back in like 2006. So he kind of showed up in cameos, I would say, in that comic book series, but like not enough for me to get in that much significant information. I know the Ultimate Universe is a little different from like the main universe. So I don't really know much about Moon Knight, but he looks pretty cool.
That's really all the news I had. I didn't see anything like really astonishing come up.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I'll go next, Matt. I'll let you think about it a little bit. So I wanted to say a new Batman animated series is coming out on
Ooh.
HBO Max, and also a Superman series. The Batman series is called Batman: The Caped Crusader. I guess it's with Bruce Timm, who executive producers Bruce Timm, J.J. Abrams, and Matt Reeves. Bruce Timm, if you don't know, he's the producer of Batman animated series, so it's going to have the like that taste of the old school like 90s Batman animated, which is great.
Okay.
And it looks like from the poster
Cool.
that it is going to be like set like old golden age of Batman, which is awesome. Here, I'll try to screen share it right now.
Wasn't that the article that you kind of like sent?
Yeah, I sent it to you, Matt.
Yeah, I sent it to Jerry thinking it was
Okay.
the link, but anyway, it was still good for me to send it to him.
All right, I'm gonna screen share now. We're gonna see quadruple of us or whatever. But here it is. Here is the Batman poster, which it has like the original like 1939 Batman ears and costume. And it looks like the animated series. Like, so it looks like that short that we watched, Matt. Do you remember that? I forget what it was called.
The one, the one
had
like all black and white, 1942 or something like that.
Yeah, it looked like it was like a Solomon Grundy kind of character, like a mad scientist. I forget what it was called, but it was like made on the 50th anniversary, I think, or 70th anniversary. 75th anniversary of Batman. It's like he's been around for so long, it's kind of hard to keep up. He's an old man now, but he's still kicking. So we're getting a new Batman Caped Crusader, that's what it's called, and we're also getting a Superman series, My Adventures with Superman. All I really know about it is I think it kind of takes the perspective of Jimmy Olsen and Lois Lane, mostly Lois Lane and Clark Kent, like the Daily Planet. And what are the voice actors of Superman is Jack Quaid from The Boys, which I still have yet to see. And Alice
You and
Lee.
me both.
Yeah, maybe we'll watch that at a future episode because that'll be cool. I hear only good things about at least the first season. Yeah, so that I'm pretty excited about that. I know I'm more of a Superman fan, but the Batman animated series with Bruce Timm and everything, I'm a little bit more excited for it because it just kind of fits that style of what I love about Batman more. I don't really know about much about the new Superman series. It looks cool. I love new Superman stuff, and it seems like Superman's going to be Superman. I'm really excited for that because we're not getting a lot of Superman, if that makes sense. And J.J. Abrams was producing that new Superman movie, and Matt Reeves, obviously the director of the Batman. So I guess they're all connected. Maybe they're going to connect the universe. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. I just hope they simplify it and kind of cut back the basics. That's what I was kind of hoping that they would do with Superman as well. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on either show.
I hope the Batman's.
No, go Jared. Go Jared.
Go ahead,
Jared.
Jared.
I hope the Batman series kind of stays true to the original animated series as far as like that real gritty action, the storytelling, and even just kind of the heartfelt moments between the villains and the heroes.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I hope it like just stays like it's like a period piece almost, like it stays in the 1940s because like I'm kind of itching for that, for like kind of all these superheroes to go back to basics, like especially Batman and Superman. I think once you overcomplicate, especially Superman, it doesn't make it as interesting. But like the Batman series, I kind of hope they extend that with make it Superman like in the 1940s as well. That would be really cool. I've been always talking about if I wanted a new Superman movie, I kind of want them to just go back to basics and set it in the 1940s, like the Max Fleischer Superman. I just want them to go.
I'm looking at the My Adventures of Superman. What is it? My Adventures with Superman and everything. I see a little screenshot of, like, the animation they're going with. It kind of looks like a more like up to like a newer age, like animation. It's kind of like like a lot of things are starting to look like nowadays. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of close to it. And then then I'm discussing it like how I was saying, like, oh, you hope it's like the perspective of oh wow, of Lois and Jimmy Olsen. I'm reading more into it. It's like it says we follow Clark as he builds his secret identity and embraces his role as the hero of Metropolis. And it's gonna be more of like a focus point of all. I think all three of them are mostly just Lois and Clark, because it states that we're gonna see how Lois is now growing her star investigative journalist role now, because she's growing in her status. It looks like, instead of just being like automatically established as I'm this to him, she's kind of like getting herself more adjusted to her role too. And Jimmy's just there, I think, like usually. Hold up, we lost you. You're not there
No, we
anymore,
just
my
see a
friend.
blue screen.
Blue screen. We are being the cool kids. So hi, how you guys doing? We're having we're having some problems right now, but it's gonna be fixed like no anytime soon. But yeah, we're just talking about the Superman thing. We just see you blew it too.
It might help. Maybe reshare your screen.
I thought you just left once. It just like pushed us together. It just keeps going somehow. Who are you?
I think it might be the
So,
webcam.
Yeah. Oh no, it wouldn't have dropped him like that. I think it would just go back to like the setting of the original, maybe. Okay, to whoever who is watching, we are still having technical difficulties with Josh. He is trying to rejoin with his connection and everything with his camera. But Jerry, got anything else? Any new news? Because I haven't heard anything, because I've been living on a rock for the last 2 weeks with work. So
I really haven't heard much myself either.
Because I looked into your Moon Knight more. Yeah, it is trying to air in 2022. They haven't had a definite like date yet, but it is going to be airing in 2022. It is going to be Mark Spector, the former CIA agent whose life is saved by the Moon God. That's literally the only description on IMDb. They have nothing else to it.
Yeah, I think it's just a fresh announce, and they don't have a whole lot going. There we go. Now he's back.
Can you see me, or like, is it still blue?
We can see you.
No, we see you.
Okay. For some reason, you guys are still blue. I don't know what's going on. I'm just hope I'm in the fucking thing. Whatever.
Just look at YouTube for 5 seconds to see if everybody's together. All together now.
All right. All together now. All together now. All right. Let's see. Let's see if the Beatles can help me out. Hush, donut. Well, you guys keep talking. I'm just gonna make sure. I just set up my internet today, okay?
We're all in
Excuses.
now. I just checked.
I'm
All
trying
right.
to. It's not even loading for some reason. Oh, okay. It's working. Fuck it. Okay. I'm not gonna question it. I don't care. Do you guys have any? What? You guys have any BS you want to discuss or anything like you want to recommend that you watch? That's whatever whatever you guys like. Have you seen anything recently that you want to like recommend or anything like that? Besides like for future episodes, because we'll save that for.
Oh, Jerry, Chainsaw Man.
Oh yes.
Chainsaw Man.
All right, you guys take it away.
Month.
Oh God. Okay, me and Jerry. Well, this is more of like a Jerry's introduction thing, but like Jerry introduced me to this manga series that's called Chainsaw Man. It's about
It's
a man that
it's the adventure of a man and his dog.
that's the latest way of doing it.
I remember you reading the manga, Matt, when you were here. Is that's the same thing, right?
Yeah, that's the same thing that I was reading when I was over your house. That is actually getting a anime coming soon around in June 28th is when we're going to get like more announcements.
Yeah, I think that's where we're going to get our first official trailer for it. Because
it's becoming an animated series?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to get its own TV show.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, okay. That's awesome.
So, to me, what Jerry told me is one of my favorite animations on Netflix gets to create. Gets produced through this one company. They do decent 3D animation plus 2D mixture, and it's not going to be bad.
Unique.
Yes, it's not bad. I'm hoping that they're going to kind of do the same thing or maybe just stick to 2D. But the way we've been seeing some artwork, it's going to be probably pushed towards some 3D motions, looks to it. But they're not a bad company for doing it. So I like the way they do the Doro Doro show on Netflix.
I remember you mentioning that too. I don't know. Maybe you guys have to. Yeah, maybe you guys have to recommend more anime in the future because I haven't seen anything really. I know Pikachu and Dragon Ball Z. That's all I can tell you about anime. And this one other thing that was on Netflix. I forget what it's called, but it was awesome. I loved it. And I wish I could name it right now.
That was
thing. Yeah, those two robbers. That was awesome. I forget what it was called, and it seems like it's like a series from the 70s.
Lupin.
What is it called?
I think it might be Lupin you're thinking of.
Lupin.
No? Lupin
maybe.
the Third.
It might be that I can't disagree with you because I don't remember what it's called. yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's totally it. Yeah, fuck yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Okay, well, I'll show you in the stream so people like me can see what I'm talking about. Can you guys hold on? Let me. Can you? I'm just making sure that this screen share will work. All right. You guys see anything? I don't see anything.
It's coming up. It's showing us all.
Okay, this guy. This is the guy.
Oh yeah, Lupin.
Yeah. All right, Jerry. You are an expert at this because I gave the worst description ever. This is why we have Jerry on this show. But no, I really enjoyed that. I only seen one movie, and I really liked that. I want to watch more of it. And what's that guy's name?
Well, you can.
Yeah, I will. Well, what's that guy's name who does all those animated Japanese movies? adding
You're
Oh,
killing me. Like,
Hirohito or something.
Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro.
Yeah.
My Neighbor Totoro.
Hayao
What's his name?
Miyazaki.
Yes.
Yep, that's it.
I don't know what the hell I said. Sorry if I said anything offensive by accident. But no, that's okay. Yeah, I heard his stuff is really excellent, and I do want to watch it eventually. I just got to dive into that world.
His stuff is really great. Even his older stuff is really good, but it's a lot of dark stories.
Yeah,
They may
that's what I
look
hear. It's
light,
like gritty
but-
and real.
Wait, what?
I heard it's like gritty and real. Like it's
Oh,
they don't stray away
a
from
lot
like,
of it. There is literally one about two kids in World
The
War
Grave
II
of
that have this.
Fireflies.
Yeah,
Yep,
I heard about that.
that one's really fucked.
Yeah, I heard that. That's awesome.
I still
I heard
have
that's
to
really
watch
fun.
it. I know the
We'll
I know the
have to watch
backstory.
it. I know the basics of it. I just know it's like a bunch of kids living in Japan, and it's like the effects of World War II. So they're fighting on their Japanese soil, so they have like no parents, and that's really all I know. It's like them fending for themselves, and they're like 8 years old or something. So I know the basic of it. I don't know the details, or what it looks like really animated. I heard about it on another podcast. I'll just shout it out. It's called Star Dynacast. It's like another movie podcast. That's one of my favorite podcasts. But yeah, I wanted to ask you guys before we kind of continue. What is like your favorite podcasts? Like, do you guys have favorites of podcasts? And if you do, what are they?
Oh my god! Well,
I only listen to like.
What's
I've
that?
only listened to one.
Oh, really? What's that?
It has to be the best podcast ever invented. BatYard's Finest.
Oh,
Damn
nice.
straight.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the best one. Don't watch anything else. It's just this. There can only be one. And it's BatYard's Finest. Thank you, Jerry. I wanted to mention, well, before Matt explains his answer, I just wanted to mention the what's his name, with Dom and Billy Boyd from Lord of the Rings. They just started their own podcast like the other day. I do recommend it.
You were telling me
really
about
fun.
that.
Yeah, they just started it like literally yesterday. I just watched it and I was like, it was awesome. They're fun. They're fun guys. So I recommend that. Obviously Joe Rogan, and because he interviews so many different people, and Michael Rosenbaum's Inside of You podcast. Those are probably my favorite. So we're trying to take bits and pieces of, at least I am, from each podcast and kind of create our own thing. This is still kind of, I know we've done a few episodes already. So we're still trying to figure it out. It's always an evolving process. So,
right now, like I agree with you. Michael Rosenbaum is amazing. Him interviewing all of his like friendly, like actors that he's been meeting up with in like the past and like near future and everything. It's pretty dope. Josh is like frozen. Base. It's freaking priceless.
I think the internet's gonna catch up soon.
Yeah. It looks great, but oh man. Oh, let me take a picture of this before I do anything else. Talk about anything else. Oh, he gone.
It's blue screen.
It's a blue screen to half. Oh my god. I know, but this is funny. But we're gonna keep going. Josh is, like we said, he got new internet. Everything's working with him. Yeah. So what's it called? Michael Rosenbaum, I like it, like I was saying, because I like him bringing on all of his friends are actors and actresses and like talking about things and like how what they did together or just discussing how they even met and what they like the actress or actor did in their career. I've been listening and watching to these YouTubers that are part of that David Dobrik Vine group, but I enjoy them because they're actually pretty funny and they just actually have decent like lives. Zayn and Heath Unfiltered, they just basically do a podcast for every Monday and they air their videos on Tuesdays and they talk about just random shit. They have an idea like a little small topic, but it basically snowballs into something else, and they do some stupid games and like they do with each other and like they're now they're starting to put on guests, so they do guests like games with the guests and stuff.
Nice.
And I'm trying to remember. It's not like a podcast, but like a more of a guy that breaks down. Like, I love Godzilla a lot, so I've been listening to this one guy just break down a bunch of like all the Godzilla movies throughout all the like the years, and it's not Godzilla has like about I think like 20 something, like 23 to 26 big movies. So it's not that many, but like in my head, I'm like just enjoying it. What was it called? Jeez, I thought like subscribed to him, but it looks like I didn't. There's another some stat. I don't know. I thought I did, but I looks like I probably didn't. I know. I'm sorry. We got Josh in our ears, and he's just talking to us like freaking. Don't be that kind of person, Josh. I'm sorry I can't provide the guy's name. I actually enjoy listening to all of his stuff, including recently there's this comic historian guy I've been listening to. He's basically narrates and he does a better edition of Audible for a comic book series.
He's better than Kevin Smith.
I haven't heard his stuff, so can't say it.
Kevin Smith, he has a podcast. It used to be all right.
Yeah, he does. I haven't watched it. It's what was it? Fat
It used to
Man
be good.
and
Fat
something.
Man on Batman, and now it's like Fat Man Beyond. And I liked it when he interviewed like Batman creators, but I don't think he does that anymore. So I just like stopped listening.
Oh shit!
I don't know if I'm in the show anymore.
Well, you're up for us, so I was just on YouTube. So give me 1 second. Subscribe. It's trying to catch up.
All right, it shows I'm on it. I'm on the show, guys.
Yeah, you're there. You're back.
I mean, I've been here the whole time. I'm like the ghost of Christmas future, not Christmas past, but the future. I don't know.
I think you're the past and the future.
Yeah,
you keep coming in and out.
I'm both. Okay. You guys have any other BS before I leave the show again?
No, let's just get this thing going. So you...
All right, let's get this going. Okay, so one of you, you or Jerry, it's up to you. Whoever says yes first. Who wants to take over for the forgotten?
I'll do Batman.
Okay, you already did it. All right. Matt got it.
I'm shot. I'll do something simple. Okay, here we go. So the short that we watched is called "The Forgotten," from the Batman animated series. It's in the first season. I believe it was episode 14. I think I'm reaching for this episode.
Yeah, it's weird because on
is it 14?
Well, no, but
oh,
it's like on my Blu-ray, it's episode 8, and on
okay
the HBO Max, it's episode 23. So
okay,
I don't know which. It's either 8 or 23.
It's conflicting.
Yeah,
It's season 1.
yeah, it's season 1. That's all you
Most
need to know.
important, it's in season 1.
Air date
If you want to find
October
it.
8th, 1992. So
So
go ahead.
this episode basically starts off with Bruce Wayne being like a super cool guy, actually helping on the homeless shelter by bringing in food and helping prepare food for them. And later on, Josh disappeared again. I'll keep going though.
He got put in the box.
Yeah, he got put in the damn box. So he was talking to he was talking to the main guy that runs the homeless shelter place, and they're discussing that he hasn't been seeing some of the usual people that have been coming around, or some former guys that used to come in often on the streets. And so Bruce got curious and decided to be like, oh, I'm going to go and see what's going on. He disguised himself as a homeless gentleman and walks the streets, see what's happening. These other two thugs-looking men came up offering him, do you want a job? It'd be great for the role, blah, blah. He's like, I don't know if I'm looking for a job. I don't know if I'm willing to work with you. And out of nowhere, some guy with a shillelagh just bops him in the back of the head and just takes him away to bump somewhere. And it's out in like somewhere in the middle, like some desert area, and they're in this mining area. And he ends up finding everybody that went missing over this time period of the homeless shelter owners like noticings, like his like everybody he's been noticing disappear, all those time periods, all there. So Bruce has amnesia. He can't figure out who he is. He just knows he's just there, and slowly he ends up remembering his identity slowly on throughout the episode. And they have this guy that's like basically the warden of the camp, and he's this giant fat man that looks just he's in an all white outfit, comes out with a bucket of fried chicken, like just eating it. It's just hilarious and screwed up. It's hilarious. He's just screaming, if you guys don't get back in that mine, I'm gonna freaking seal you up in there myself. Shit. Chicken. And then later on, Bruce.
That was pretty accurate. You should play that guy. That was awesome.
So later on, like I said, Bruce decides to remember what's happening to him slowly from like occurrences throughout everything. He ends up fully remembering he is Batman and his real identity is Bruce Wayne. He ends up kicking everybody's ass in the mining area that is part of this like whole like setup that's stealing people. So all the henchmen and the main owner, and they end up like going into like it's pretty neat. They end up going into the mines and like fighting in the mines, and Bruce ends up turning off all the lights and he's just fighting in the dark and like just doing like secret assassin stuff and just fighting people and just locking them up. And they end up blowing up the mine and rescuing everybody else in the mine too. But then he ends up taking all the homeless guys and freeing them, plus the two main people that have been stolen that was introduced in the beginning of the episode. He becomes friends with them, good friends, and tells them his real identity. And they're like, no effing way that you're Bruce Wayne. He's like, well, if you guys are looking for a job, stop on by in the freaking Wayne Industries. There'd be a job there for you. So he's actually offering a job to the two gentlemen instead of keeping them off the streets and getting put in something like this camp that was abusing and using them for mining purposes.
Yeah, that was literally the whole episode. Matt is very good at like describing like the whole episode, like the whole medium, like all the way through. So I give you a lot of kudos for that, Matt. I could not do that. I would only give like a simple explanation. So you like remember every detail. I don't even know how you do that. It's amazing.
I like how Bruce made himself. I didn't get to like Bruce. Bruce made himself look like he was in his like 60s. It was funny because he made his hair like white, gray or white.
He does that up
And,
multiple times throughout the series.
Yeah, I love it. He just goes through his wardrobe and he has a whole wardrobe set up and it's just like homeless man wardrobe. This looks great. This is my old attire and I would work for the streets and just make my hair gray. No one would notice my face.
I don't know how no one picked up on that.
No. He changed his voice though.
He does. He does like disguise his voice, and that's what I like about this rendition of Batman. Like obviously, like Kevin Conroy, when he goes into the Batman voice, it's much like on a deeper octave, like it's like a deeper, darker voice. And then when he's like the facade of Bruce Wayne, he's like, "Hi, I'm Bruce Wayne," blah 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 blah, and everyone like kind of has that face, you know, like once you're at work or something, you kind of have to like show that you're a little lighter and like blah 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 blah, you know, kind of give that a little bit.
Yeah.
But like it's like I mean everyone kind of has like a dual identity, and I think that's what kind of makes it a little fascinating with the how he portrays the characters, because it's such a different performance for Bruce Wayne for his fake facade versus Batman, who he really is, and then like he gets amnesia, and then he's kind of like in the middle. Like he doesn't know what he is, you know. And you can kind of tell throughout his performance that, like, he definitely portrays that really well. Jerry, what are your thoughts on the Forgotten episode?
I think, you know, watching it now, it kind of shows, you know, number one, like, you know, a big issue in a lot of places is human trafficking. So it's like, oh, they were talking about human trafficking like in a very offhand and fucked up way back in the 90s. And look where we are now. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I didn't even put that like together, to be honest. But well, yeah, that's not basically. That's exactly what happened. So, wow, yeah, and it's like, it's not like it's something that doesn't happen in real life. So it's pretty wild that they put this in a kids show out of all things. You know, like it's they don't shy away from real world realities, but like it's not like hitting so hard where you get like direct comparisons to actual real life. You know, it's like
that's where the characters come in.
Yeah, it's like you're still in a different world. You're still in a different world, but it's relatable enough with the problems that you can like kind of make your own conclusions on like what's going on and how it reflects the actual existence that we live in, which I like a lot better. I hate when they just dive way too into the real world. I mean, it works with Batman, but once it's like these other DC characters that are like so like these power levels that like are so like just out of the realm. Yeah, it's just out of this world that it doesn't even like it just meshes. Like that's why I'm not really a fan of Snyder's Superman. I know I mentioned that a lot.
Can we not do an episode with this ever? Like
we have not done a Man of Steel episode or Batman vs Superman episode. I think eventually we'll do Batman vs Superman, and eventually we'll do Man of Steel. But I'm more excited to do a Man of Steel episode than Batman vs Superman, because Man of Steel has some qualities I actually like. Batman vs Superman is kind of harder for me to give it praise. But go ahead. What were you saying?
I hear you. I mean, like, can we go like one podcast without us bringing up the Snyderverse?
It shows up. It's like right in my face. It's there. It's still there. I know, like they're trying to do something else, but it's still in my. It still smells. I still stepped in that shit, and it's still in my shoe.
I was hoping
you know?
we were like, yeah. Get out of there! Yeah,
Janelle wants us to do Wonder Woman next. We'll do Wonder Woman at
original.
Some point. I guess so. Yeah, the first one. We didn't do the
original
first one.
From like our time.
Yeah, I guess so.
The movie or the cartoon
or Linda Carter. Yeah, which one? The 70s one or the
These are
Gal Gadot one.
These are answers that we need for our questions.
Yeah.
Janelle.
You gotta bring the facts.
Which Wonder Woman, damn it?
Which one? I guess all of them. We'll do everyone in one episode.
All right.
Fine.
Sounds good.
God.
Oh, everybody, get your
But
Wonder Woman up.
I think I'm actually excited to rewatch Man of Steel. I think I would have more positive things. All right, look, Janelle says we pick, so whatever Wonder Woman anything. I guess we already did
consensus.
Yeah. What to bring Miss Leah on the Wonder Woman episode, because she's our Wonder Woman. But I forget what the hell I was saying.
You'd rather
I'd rather do Man of
Steel.
Steel. Because I think I would have more praise for it, especially now, than I have like bad things to say about it. But it's kind of like 50-50 still. Anyway, besides all that, what were you guys saying?
I was just saying I think, The Forgotten really showed a good way. Also, like the movie we're going to get into, of how it's in the human spirit to just always, even in times of like hardship and darkness, just always find and look for that one ray of hope and never just give up no matter how hard the odds are against you.
No, I
But they had a
completely
Batman.
agree. Yeah, they had Batman. Well, Batman didn't know he was Batman. He was just kind of like good at fighting. He's like,
well,
maybe you were a fighter.
They had a Batman.
What was his buddies? He had two friends. It was like Dan Riley and Salvio Smith. I think Riley was the one who looked like kind of like John Henry Irons or John Irons, and Salvio Smith was like more of this skittish he was like more of like a weasel kind of type, he was a little more snarky, and I think
it looked like he was gonna steal your wallet and sell it back.
Yeah, he did. He kind of looked like he kind of like deserved the jail time just from his face. But the moral of the story is you can't judge a book by its cover, So I don't know. I don't think that's really the moral, but you could kind of shove that shoehorn in there. When Dan Riley, my favorite parts of this episode was going into Batman's psyche and like him trying to figure out if he's Batman. Like when the Bruce Wayne, he's in the skies and kind of gets knocked out. Well, he passes out and then it goes into his psyche and he's like having these dream sequences, and then like his reflection is him as Bruce Wayne laughing at him, and then he just turns into the Joker and he starts choking him. That was fucking awesome. That was metal as hell. It reminded me of like Evil Dead, when like his dual identity is like choking him. When Bruce Campbell in Evil Dead 2, he's getting choked by evil Bruce Campbell. I don't know if you guys remember, or if you've seen that. I know Matt has, but it reminded me of that when like he's getting choked by his like inner demons basically, and then he turns into the Joker, and it was awesome. And then when he figures out that he's Batman, I was getting chills. I was getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about it. Like when like Dan Riley is like, I lost my family, and then it like the echo is like, my family, and then Batman is like, I'm fucking Batman at that point. Like he goes through like his mental emotions, like where he lost his parents like as a little kid, and he realizes he lost his family, and then he's like, I'm fucking Batman at that point. That was fucking awesome. That was my favorite part of the whole episode. Was every time like it showed like his psyche, and it was like, yeah, I'm fucking Batman, and like he's like, Riley, we're getting the hell out of here. It's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're on drugs. The heat's getting to you. And then he kicks it out, and he's like, I'm fucking Batman. Get the fuck out of here. It was awesome. That was my favorite part of the whole thing. Like going into Bruce Wayne's psyche. And this episode, not this episode, this series does that so well. And I wish they showed that a little bit more in the live action Batmans. They did a little bit in actually one of the worst Batman movies ever. The Val Kilmer one with Robin, the first one. What was it called? Batman? No,
with
not
the Riddler.
Batman Forever. Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah, Batman Forever.
Yeah, they kind of did a little bit when they're showing like the bat sequence and the bat's flying at him. They did a little bit, and they have a deleted scene which is the best scene out of the whole movie if they actually put it in, where they like go further into that bat psyche, and then it's like a giant man bat thing, and it looks fucking awesome. And of course, they
I've never
deleted
seen that.
They deleted the best scene of the movie. I'll have to send it to you guys. It's really cool, and you're gonna go like, "Oh, why wasn't this in the movie? This is better than the whole movie."
What is it? Is it now? I thought
it
the
is.
suits were awesome.
100%. and my little opinion about Batman Forever versus Batman. What the fuck? Batman and Robin. I like Batman and Robin a little bit better because they dove headfirst into how stupid it is. It was more stupid, so it was more entertaining for me.
They had
the other
nipples
ones like
on their
kind of
costumes.
riding. The both of them have nipples on their butts, or
and they
whatever.
did an ass shot, suiting up like where you wanted to be.
But it was the other one like dove headfirst into it. And like I enjoyed that a little bit more because it was more stupid, and the other one was just kind of riding the line of like, oh, how stupid can we get? We'll like hit the middle line, and I'd rather like have a complete failure than a half failure. You know what I mean? Like it's more memorable to me. But yeah, I thought this episode was really cool. The psyche part was my favorite, and that guy eating chicken wings, like they're not working hard enough. Yeah, that guy was a complete asshole, and I just loved how like he was like they're lazy, and he's the laziest piece of crap I ever seen in my life. And they could really portray that in a cartoon animated series, and like I like how Alfred's kind of the hero of the story mostly because he realizes that the Studebaker's gone. What's going on? And it kind of gives Alfred more of an incentive throughout the show. Like, I think this Alfred is more like he saves this Batman more than I've seen out of live action Batman.
Big time.
Yeah, I mean he kind of does in Batman Begins. He lifts that piece of wood. I guess he's like, "Oh, when Michael Caine says you don't do all that bench pressing or whatever." You know, he does a little bit there, but
you can't pick up a log. Like, what
yeah, that's what it is. But I don't know. That's all I really have to say about this episode. I mean, I think it's like, and it's a little above average episode, but you know, I enjoyed it.
I think it's in my top 5.
Really?
I put that in my top 5.
Yeah, it's in my top 5.
Oh my god!
Of the Batman animated series.
Oh wow. Yeah, it's definitely not my top 5. But I do enjoy it. It's maybe top 10. But top 5, that'll be. I don't know. I'll have to make a list, but I definitely have episodes in mind that come up before that.
Okay.
Yeah, but I really like this episode. I like how it dove into his psyche a little bit more. I think there's some that like dive into his psyche a little bit more, which I kind of enjoy a little bit more. But I think that was my favorite part. What do you guys? Do you have any final thoughts or ratings for this episode? You guys said top 5. That's awesome.
Yeah. With me, I do agree with with all you guys were saying with the human trafficking, including it still continues today with the human trafficking. So it adds up still just being all around, and saying 90s was really bold to doing all these little hints and all this stuff. They did it in a subtle way with a nice joke with it, or just bullshitting around with it. But they do give you a message it is happening. Even if you're not a kid, you're not you did just watch it. It will come to you later on. I watched that episode of Batman when I was a kid. Wow, they're on point. Or if you're a parent watching the show with the kid, you're like, okay, they're getting real. They're trying to teach something to the kids, but the kid grasps. We'll never know. But I like how this one reaches with it, and I like how this series does try to work with Alfred more than the other ones do, other than completely deleting him or making him just the complete butler.
Yeah,
he's more in tune and helping until doesn't he he kind of stops, he kind of backs down later in the series, I think, when they get the team more,
I think I think it's
I think
more when
so.
they got like Robin. You know, he kind of fills
once
that
you get, like,
role.
Robin and them come in.
Yeah, he fills that role a little bit, which makes sense. You know, he has enough going on at the mansion, so like Robin should be more in the field anyway. So, you know, so it makes sense.
I think they're doing a decent like path for Alfred and everything. So it's not that bad with this. Like, but I did enjoy him just coming in and trying to figure out he did his own detective work, like you're saying, with this one. Trying to figure out where Bruce went to.
It makes Alfred really useful. You know, he's not like a butt end of the joke or just like at the mansion the whole time. You know, it's. I think this is my favorite Alfred. This is my favorite everything Batman. Like anything Batman is my favorite. It's from this. Like everything. Literally my favorite Joker. Everything. All of it.
And then Alfred in this series gets like the best like zings on freaking Bruce Wayne all the time with shit.
He does have some good one-liners.
Yeah. I know. I forget what episode he's like, "Oh, I drew you Beth." It's like the April Fools, and he's like, and Bruce Wayne goes in the bathroom, and there's no bath. You know, it's just like an empty tub, and he's like, "Oh, I drew you a bath," and he's like, "It's literally a bathtub, like drawing." And you know, he like has that dry British humor, and it's very like apparent in the series, and I do like that they have like that fun, you know, like it seems like the only time like Bruce like kind of, you know, takes a little bit off his shoulders is when he's with Alfred, you know, even like when he's with Robin or, you know, Dick Grayson or any of them, he's just like, "Oh, fuck you, we gotta do work." You know, like,
well, he's
like
trying to be with those guys. He's more of a mentor and like trying to be like that
he's
guy
like in the father figure,
to.
and
but he
Alfred's
overdoes
more father figure of Bruce Wayne. You know, he's the closest thing he has to anything. Of
so that's his like safe haven. That's his like normal space with him.
I'm surprised that not in like a comic book series or a movie like they like killed Alfred. You know, like the Joker kills Alfred or something, because that would fuck Bruce's everything.
I just
want
like he was Alfred.
You know? Yeah, I mean they have I know Alfred. His like backstory. He's worked with the Secret Service. Yeah, ex-military, Britain military. He's like I think the British Secret Service, which is pretty cool.
He beat the shit out of Superman once.
Yeah, I did hear that. I think that's in the Injustice comic books. That whole Injustice series. I'm not really a big fan of it. Oh, that was another DC news I should have brought up earlier. That they're
we still got time. You can throw it in.
I was going to say right now, but the next one of the next animated movies that they're making is the Injustice series, and I know a lot of people like the Injustice series. Wait, what's that?
4 out of 10.
It's gonna be a 4 out of 10. It's gonna suck.
That's kind of how I feel. I mean, I'm not even a fan of the Injustice series. I like the first one, the game. I didn't read the comic books. The concept of an evil Superman sucks to me because it's so. I think Superman as a villain is like too easy to write as a villain, and I think he's more interesting when he's a hero. And like him as a villain is just so like cliche, like an alien coming to Earth to invade is every like cliche alien invasion movie. And then like once you make Superman that, then he's no different than any other alien invasion. Like it's like then it's like what's the point, you know?
That's the whole point of General Zod.
Yeah, that's why General Zod exists. Exactly. You know, that's why he exists. And then like to do that to Superman, it just kind of cuts half of the interesting stuff out of the story. And I'm not really interested in an evil Superman unless it's like a evil Superman versus Clark Kent, like they did in Superman 3, which we'll have to do eventually. Yeah, or like, you know, they did it in the first game where it's like the regular Superman fights the evil Superman, but in the second game, you didn't have the option of good Superman, so I hated him. I literally hated that character. I was like, you want to do everything in your power, DC,
Jerry,
for me to hate Superman. And I don't want to hate Superman. Superman's my favorite fucking character, and you want me to hate him. Fuck you, DC. Give me Superman. I want Superman.
You do not understand the rap of what he has. He had a. I remember when that game first came out. I remember when that first game came out. When that game came out, the first one, and Josh is just like, "What do they do to Superman? This is not Superman. This is bullshit." He beat the game and everything, but he was just like super annoyed and pissed.
I hated him.
And then he was.
It made me play
hoping.
It made me play as Batman the first time around at the end because I wanted to kick his ass. Like I fucking hated that character. And I don't want to hate Superman. Like what the fuck? I was so pissed.
No,
it made me root for Batman. What the hell is that? This bullshit.
I would say the best version of Superman being a villainized character is the Red Sun Superman.
Yes, I
because
agree
he thinks he is a hero.
Yes,
the whole time.
I agree.
But he's not a hero because he's doing the deeds of a bad man that's hiding everything from him. And he's just thinking, "Oh, I'm doing this good thing," until this happens. Then everything unveils, and he knows he's just ruined everything. And then he just too late now.
I 100% agree with you. It's like
Red Sun did the best job.
I 100%.
DC, if you're listening, go ahead and bring back Evil Hal Jordan when he kills the Green Lantern Corps. That was a great
when he
series.
has all the rings, and he's like, "I'm fucking crazy." Yeah. Yeah, that was after Death of Superman. I guess that affected Hal Jordan. He got all fucked up too. That was
Got to be Superman.
That's a pretty cool cover. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but Forgotten. If I was gonna rate this episode, I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. It's not my favorite episode. It's above average out of the episodes. It's not my favorite. I think there's more interesting episodes that dive into Batman's psyche, and that's my favorite element of this episode. So Jerry, I know you didn't rate or give final thoughts of the episode. What do you think?
Definitely watch it. Like Josh said, I personally would give it an 8 out of 10 because it, not even just from, Bruce Wayne turning himself into a homeless guy, but also you see, more of the cruelty of how people view how people view like people who are in a different situation. It's just really like, wow, that's really fucked up that this is happening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, once you brought in
Totally
human trafficking, I didn't really think of that. I mean, like, obviously it's very apparent, but like, yeah, it's obvious. Like that's what they're doing. They're getting these people to do slave work, and the guys that they grabbed, like Bruce Wayne's two friends, they're good people. They were donating their time and efforts to help the Gotham City and like the less fortunate, and then like they just grab these two guys because they're easy targets, and it's like, wow, well, like these people don't even deserve this, like they weren't criminals, they weren't anything. They just grabbed these people just because they needed bodies to do their bidding, basically, and it's pretty crazy how they do that. And eventually, Batman gets like I love how Batman, he has his disguises like throughout the series. He does that. That's a thing that early Superman did a lot. I've been reading the early Superman comic books from like the 1930s, and Superman would like early on, before Batman existed, he would like take disguises of like people from jail and like a football star and like a guy from the circus, and like they would just think he's a regular guy, and he would like kind of hide it, and then he would like kind of reveal that like he has this super strength, and are like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening? And I wish that would be more apparent with recent renditions of Superman. Like he took different disguises than just Clark Kent, because it makes it a little bit more fun, especially if it's Superman. It's like, imagine Superman got amnesia and then he fucking like just figures out he's like Superman. That would be pretty fun. But Batman,
didn't they? I thought they did do something with that once.
They did that. I know they did that in Smallville. I know they did that in the Smallville episode, which is a really good episode.
I remember that. That was fucking dope as hell.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to reveal too much to Matt because he hasn't seen too much of Smallville. He just seen like maybe the first season. Well, that was like later on, and that was really cool. I really like that. He's like in a psych ward. It was fucking awesome. But yeah, we'll have to talk about that at some point. But do you guys have any final thoughts on the Forgotten Batman the Animated Series?
Go watch it.
Yep.
Yeah, do it.
Go watch the whole series.
Oh, yeah,
it.
definitely.
If you don't watch it, we'll come to your house and steal your spoons.
Fucking Batman will steal your food.
No more soup for you.
Yeah, no soup for you. We'll get the soup Nazi to steal your soup can from Seinfeld. Okay, so I guess that's all we have to say about the Batman Animated Series. The Forgotten, episode 8 or 23. I don't know. You guys might want to correct us.
You
pick
pick.
below.
I chose.
Yeah, you pick. Matt chooses you, and that's very special. So we're gonna go to the next medium of today's podcast discussion, and it's Cool Hand Luke, starring Paul Newman. I think it was released in 1967, if I'm not mistaken. It's probably one of the most notable performances from Paul Newman. It's actually one of the only movies I actually seen with Paul Newman. I probably should see more movies, but like this seems like this is like a dad's movie, you know, like this is a movie you probably watch with your dad, and like it was like the one of the it was like basically like the superhero movie before superhero movies, you know, like the movie that kind of broke through to a lot of people back in that time. You know, this is 10 years before Star Wars, you know, so like this was the original Luke, you know, Luke Jackson. Cool. He's a cool prisoner. He's like basically in a chain gang, and he has to do all this like road work and side work. Like they're basically just chained together and just have to clear off highways and make roadways and pave the roads for the highways. And it's he gives a little bit of levity to the other inmates of the chain gang. Like he's the only one who kind of like goes against authority. Everyone just kind of learns the rules, you know, and he's the only one who kind of like, you know, he kind of plays against rules even throughout his life. Like he starts out as a private in World War II, and he gets all these medals, like the bronze medal, and he ends World War II. He's still a private. So, like, obviously, he went against the grain even in World War II.
That was one line I remember. You fought in the war as a private, but you came back out as a private.
What's that about?
How's that work?
Yeah, I think this is like a classic movie. Like I feel like this is like a guy's movie. Like I feel like every guy needs to see this movie. It's just like one of those that kind of like it hits like on those emotional beats. Like it's like you could be one of the prisoners, or you could be one of the guys who kind of goes against authority and kind of ride against that. And I think this is one of the best movies out of the 60s, out of the decade. And I think it still plays well today. After that Mortal Kombat movie, I needed to see something of real cinema because it just was like that movie was just so bland and nothing to me. So I did a lot of talking. We'll go with Matt first. What do you think of Cool Hand Luke? And you could obviously see the connection with these two mediums that we're doing. So I would be very surprised if they didn't get any inspiration from Batman Animated Series, the Forgotten episode from Cool Hand Luke, because they're both in chain gangs. they both go in the box. You know,
Mhm.
obviously there's a lot of differences, but there's a lot of similarities at the same time. And this is like the essential chain gang movie, I think. So Matt, go ahead.
With me, with Cool Hand Luke, I got a hit and a miss with this one for me for some reason.
Okay.
The pace of the movie wasn't the best for me because it's kind of like a slower pace than
It's
I
a
would
slow
say.
burn. It's like an older cinema movie, so like they
Yeah.
want like action here and there, but
Yeah,
it's
it was
more
more
character
like
development.
so like to me that was like a slower pace. So like it kind of like I don't want to say it. I fell asleep 3 times. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh my god,
I'm sorry.
that's terrible.
No, but I did enjoy the movie with like here and there's things and like I love the beginning is like the pace of the beginning. I liked it like in general when he's just like you just meet him and he's just drinking and he's just cutting the lids off of the freaking the parking meters for no reason. He's just like I'm
Yeah,
feeling like stealing these parking meter heads. And it doesn't explain nothing. It's just he's just drunk and he has an idea, cutting the heads off, and then after he cracks his next beer, sits down for a second, a cop shows up, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He's just like, "Oh, yeah, I'm just having a brew." Like, and he gets thrown right into the jail and everything.
yeah, and then it's
To
like
me,
basically like it's a still, and he's like laughing, and then that music starts.
Yeah.
I really like the score of this film a lot. I like that theme.
Yeah.
It's very simple and kind of like it provides like the feeling of the whole movie, and like from this, like from them being a chain gang, it's like actually the cinematography and how it's presented. It's very beautiful, and it's like kind of contrasts like the feel of the movie at the same time.
Mhm.
So I find that very interesting. Oh, and go ahead, Matt. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just
no, that's fine. No, no, like you're saying, the score is great. I like the scenery and the shots that they had. And a lot of the characters were pretty fun to see and just have them interact. But I did like the thing is like I think like to shoot to the end of it, like I feel like they did him dirty at the end.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
at
that's
the
a
end. And it's
spoiler.
just so
We'll
much.
get to that. Yeah,
It's so much like he does to try to escape for the first time and he gets captured and he gets punished for it and he ends up digging his like hole for himself basically in a way. And
yeah.
he ends up pleading to him, faking that he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I've been mistreated, blah, blah. He's like, I don't want to do this shit. And he like plays it off. And then next day they're doing another like cleaning off the highway of the dead weeds off the side. And he ends up stealing the car keys and everyone's truck's car keys and just hopping in one of the main trucks and driving off and picking up that the other inmate with him and like driving to that lakeside, like the
That's
pond
the
or
last time
lakeside area.
That's the last time he escaped. He escaped
twice,
I believe.
He escapes
Yes,
twice.
twice.
The first time
he escapes 3 times. He escapes 3
does?
times. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember the first time he jumped over the barbed wire fence and like he's like filing the floor tiles, which is made out of wood, while they're having that 4th of July party, they're all loud and rowdy. And he's escaped. Someone else follows him. He's like jumping on the barbed wire. Second time, he's shaking the bush. He's shaking the bush while he's like going to the bathroom. He's like, I'm shaking the bush. I'm shaking it. And then he tries to cling to it, and then he's like shaking it while with the distance, and he goes for it. And then they catch him again. They beat the living shit out of him. They beat him up.
Oh yeah.
They beat up his spirit. He's like, oh, why is your dirt? And I forget what the character's name, but why is your dirt his trench or whatever, his ditch? And they're like, oh, they're contradicting themselves. They're trying to break. Like one person tells him to dig a hole, the other guard is telling him to fill it up. So it's like, why is your? And he's like, I don't know, boss. He doesn't even bother like explaining himself or like arguing with them, and he completely breaks. And all the inmates are like feeding off this energy. They're like he's the only hope that they got. They're like, oh man, like Luke is such a cool guy. He's the one who's like he's like giving us more levity, a little hope. And once like breaks, like they all turn against him like all at once. And there's allegories that I'll get into later. But yeah, go ahead, Matt.
No, yeah. What I was like saying, he ends like in the third one, he ends up doing the truck stuff and like escaping. That gave me so much hope that he was gonna maybe like it'd be like this movie, like he was gonna end off with him and his buddy, like they end up picking up at the end, and like they both cut ties, they both separate from each other, but they don't do that. But they make it to like this like after this guy's in the truck by the pond and like doing that stuff, and like they go and like to this not abandoned, it's a church I believe they're at, and he's just yelling and screaming up at God. I was like, this guy is literally at the point where he's like really judging everything that's happening because he's just annoyed with everything that's been happening. But when he finally settles down and sees realization and he just sees the light, I was just like, this is bullshit. What's happening now? I was like hoping that like they both get away and everything's fine. And everything's gonna be good. He's gonna have like this like good realization. Like you get this whole thing, and they end up with him just like said made it. He got out of there. No, the ending got bullshit with that to me. So much.
All right, there's so much I want to rebuttal.
I know,
but Jerry, go ahead.
I don't care.
Oh my god. Okay, Jerry. What were your thoughts on this film?
I thought it was a really good movie. I'm not a big fan of slow burns myself, so I did lose interest in some of the slower points.
Yeah, I agree with you with that.
But I definitely like the cool hand Luke character because he comes in, he's like, you know, I can eat me 50 eggs. And everybody's betting like there's no way a man can eat 50 eggs. And then you see him training and doing everything, and he eats the 50 eggs, and he's just sick as a fucking dog. And I'm like, dude, what was the point of that? Like, yeah, it was an insane bet to make, but I think his character was a good break from the order and rules that the other prisoners got so accustomed to. Because it's like both you and Matt have been saying, he just came in and he's like, eat shit, I'm not doing this. Or fuck you, you asshole. I'm gonna
yeah.
And it's even, as good as the movie was, I felt like 2 hours for it was pushing it a little bit. But it, like all the times he escaped, the first time, okay, I can see why he didn't get away. The second one, there should have been no fucking way he came back. It should have been like, all right, Luke's out. He sent us this picture. He's in a magazine. He's with these two fine bitches. But boom.
He comes back.
He comes back and they just beat him down to a pulp. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then, you see the other prisoners just taking food from him like, you fucking phony.
Yeah. That's a very interesting scene. When they're taking food from him, it's like they're either helping him or like feeding off him. I think it's like a combination of both because he's like right before that he's like, stop feeding off me. He's just yelling at him and like because they're all feeding off his energy. He just wants to do his own thing. He doesn't want to be like their savior. He doesn't want to be the person that they look up to. He just kind of is just because he's just the thing he does. And I know they mentioned in the beginning of the movie, if you don't finish, like clean off your plate, then you end up in the box. And I think the guards gave him extra food, just expecting him not to finish it. So it's kind of looked at like both ways. Like the prisoners are like cleaning off his plate, so like he doesn't end up in the box, and at the same time they're feeding off his energy, so they're feeding off his plate. So it's like kind of right in the line. Like they're either helping him or are just feeding off them. And it's like, I just like how it's how subtle they portray that, you know, like all the subtleties of like the underlining, like the 50 eggs. The 50 eggs represent, you see in the beginning of the film, there's like a marker for 50 inmates, and when that first person goes into the box, he's crushed. He's like heartbroken. He's like, oh, what did I do? Because he switched jobs with someone else. And he's just like crawling. He's like basically in a fetal position in a ball, like crying, and then they close the doors like on him. And they mark it out like there's 49, one in the box. So there's 50 altogether. So I guess each egg represents like each soul of the inmates that are within the prison. And apparently there's like a lot of religious like symbolism with the Luke character. He's kind of like their savior and everything like that. And they have their like Last Supper, and he's like after he eats the eggs, he's like laid across like a Jesus character. And what I like about that is it's subtle enough where you could kind of miss it, but it's not so in your face. Like, for another example, I know Matt's going to hate me for saying this, Man of Steel, because they literally have, in Man of Steel, they have literally a mirror of Jesus behind Superman's fucking head. He's talking to a priest. He's like, oh, what do I do? And he's like looking at Jesus, what do I do? And the priest's like, you should be Jesus. And then like he's in space and he's doing the cross symbolism. It's like it's so on the nose. Like, get out of here. They're like, it's just too much. But with this movie, it's so subtle. Like you have to read in between the lines a little bit more. And that's what I appreciate about this movie. Like he's like, you know, he's taking the souls, you know, with the 58 or 50 inmates. He's trying to give a little levity. At the same time, he's like an anti-hero. So he's not like really someone you should look up to. And I think once his mother, like you see his mother, that's when the heart of the movie kind of like gets in the heart really in the movie. And like a couple scenes after, like she's like talking to his son. She's like, oh, I did the best I could. Your father, he was a good man, but he made me laugh. I know he left you, you know, he left us to dust, but he really made me laugh. And like they seem more like they're like friends at that point rather than like mother and son. And I thought that was very interesting how they show that like she's like basically on her deathbed, and once he's playing that song when she dies, just like it's just so somber and like quiet that I really appreciate that. It wasn't like he's just like bawling his eyes out. Sorry, and it's so obvious. It's just like you could see the internal struggle within this character, and that's what I really appreciate. That there's like a lot of subtleties to this movie, and I think that's what I appreciate more about this movie in general. And like the lines that his friend has, Dragline, he has the best lines of the whole movie. He's like, "Oh my beautiful boy, he's sitting with these two angels," you know. Like I love that stuff. And once he has a fight with Dragline, he's like they're punching each other in the face. Dragline's obviously the stronger, tougher man. And they're having a boxing match. I forget what the dispute was to begin with, but they're like boxing, and he keeps Luke. Was that in the beginning? That's like early on.
Yeah, that was the beginning.
I think it was because I think he was like the biggest guy in the yard.
Yeah,
I think.
No, Luke
so that's why they did it.
He said something to him. He like disrespected him in some way. I forget what he said. And Dragline's like, all right, let's fight about it. And like Saturdays, you know, they could like box it out basically. So they're boxing it out, and like Luke keeps coming back up. He's like throwing like such nothing punches, and he keeps falling back down. And then the inmates are like, you know, betting on it. They're like enjoying themselves. And then at a point, they're like, this guy's going to be beaten to a pulp. He's just going to die. And Dragline's like, stay down. Like, you beat. And he comes back up. He keeps giving him nothing. And then like that's when he gets his inmate name, and they're playing cards and they're playing poker, and he's like he bluffs. He just keeps bluffing, and then he wins the hand. That's when he gets his name, Cool Hand Luke. You know, like he's like, oh, nothing could be a really cool hand, and I think that's a really good line. I really like that line a lot. I think there's a lot to appreciate about this movie. I understand why you guys think it kind of dragged on because there are parts that it does kind of slow down. But that's just kind of old Hollywood in general. So it does. That's kind of how like movies were made like back then. So like I kind of forgive it for that. And like for it to be 2 hours, like now movies are fucking like 3 hours and it's too fucking long.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, you know we're talking about you.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
I literally just saw
Fucking
Spiral,
Snyder
the
Cut.
movie that just came
Spiral?
out.
What's a
Spiral.
Like
the
Yeah,
Saw,
Chris
the
Rock
Book
movie.
of Saw, the Chris Rock movie.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know. About
It's
that. I
only
thought you
an
were talking about the
hour and
dragon.
35 minutes.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, okay, go ahead.
It's a runoff from Saw, and I'm like, damn,
Oh.
that was quick.
Oh, I thought you were talking about fucking Spyro the Dragon. Like they made a Spyro movie.
It's
I didn't
called
hear about.
Spiral, not
Okay.
Spyro.
Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't even hear about that. Okay, is it
Yeah,
good?
it came
Is it any
out.
good?
It's good, but it's too fast for a Saw movie.
Yeah.
But if you enjoy the Saw movies with the things they do in it, but like. It's one of the fastest movies I saw this year in a while.
Chris Rock's in it. Who's in it?
What?
Yeah.
Chris Rock is in it. He's an
What the
executive
fuck?
producer / main actor.
I didn't even
And
hear
they
about
have.
this.
It's
Just
Yeah,
came
been
out?
It was
it was
supposed to come out
supposed to
last
come
year.
out before COVID.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anyone talk about this movie at all. I didn't even know it existed.
It was getting hype in like 2020 before COVID hit. And then once COVID hit, it went into slumber like everything else did because they wanted in the theaters. And then once everything started coming up, they kind of like did like a soft like trailer boots and everything for it. And this dropped it like not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago.
I had no idea. I didn't even know that came out.
We'll probably talk about it in a later episode.
Okay. Okay.
But Samuel
if you-
Jackson in it too.
Who? Samurai Jack?
No, Samuel Jackson.
Oh, it's the Samurai Jack.
Oh my god.
I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
Samurai
man.
Jack. That's awesome.
Samuel Jackson in it.
Okay. That sounds cool, I guess. I haven't really even seen any of the Saw movies, so I know nothing. I heard the first one's like so stupid that it's great, and then they just get dumber and dumber. So, I'd be interested in
Definitely.
seeing that. I guess, how dumb depending on how dumb it is, I don't know. It really,
I think
It's
at
a
one
pride
time
line.
the main villain's like technically dead, but he's still doing shit. So like he still has everything going on, like his operations still running without him being there.
I
It was,
can't
like,
believe
weird.
Samurai Jack's in that movie. That's
It's
amazing.
great. Him and his sword chopping people in half.
Samuel Jackson plays Samurai Jack in the movie. It's amazing.
Oh my god.
So okay, Matt. So what didn't you like? You didn't like the pacing of it, and you didn't like the ending. Is that what?
I didn't enjoy the ending for it.
I hated that ending.
You
hated the ending
too.
What?
I kind of
thought it
wanted
was
him to have his
perfect.
freedom.
I know.
I get it, he
but
did
that
get a
doesn't make it
freedom.
good.
I get
But
it.
it's just
I'd rather have a different ending.
Oh my god! I thought the ending was perfect. I thought it perfectly wrapped up like the whole feeling of the movie because he had nothing really to live for it anymore. Like he like gave the inmates hope and like like after he died they basically made him put him on the mantle that he was before because they turned their backs on him. And it was basically like Judas against Jesus, like at that point. Like they were just like against him at that point. And then once they realized, it was almost like it was like weird, like the allegations, like it had the secondhand nature of like a Christ-like figure while he's being an anti-hero, because that ending shot where it's like the T of the crossroads, and then he shows up, and then there's like the picture and then there's those two girls again. It's like those two angels, like he's like mounted on the cross, I guess. And I like how it was subtle. It was, it wasn't like in your face, like I was saying before, with the whole Christian thing. But I don't know. I thought like it was like the perfect ending because like what else could he do? Like at that point, like he gave the inmates the hope that they needed, and like once he died, like it was like like at that point, like his story was over. He had nothing else to really give. He gave it all, and then like even when he got shot, he was like smiling.
He still had that
He
smile.
enjoyed it. Yeah,
he did that
enjoyed
smile.
it. So and I thought how it ended was awesome. And like once like he could have survived if the what was it? The captain, not the captain, the guy who says the failure.
The man with no eyes.
Yeah, the man with no eyes, and the one who says that what we have here is a failure to communicate. That part, that's like probably the most famous line of this movie. And he shouts out Luke shouts their same bullshit to them, like saying like it doesn't mean anything, and then he gets shot. And George Kennedy, who plays Dragline, like he goes fucking like gorilla. He goes fucking hard, and he's like, "You fucking kill him, you motherfuckers!" Like his emotion is, I thought it was pretty real, and I don't know. I thought it was the perfect ending. I'm like, I know, like that's what you wanted. Like that's what I wanted too. I wanted him to escape, but like I thought, like even if he escaped, like it would have just been too simple of an ending. Like it would have been like, oh, he just made it, and that's it. Like like how they ended it with him dying, it just made it more conflicting to me. Like.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I did like it, but it's after everything he's been through from, the abuse in jail, them throwing him in the box after his mom died.
Oh yeah, that's fucked up. That was like when he first like rebelled. He's like, "Fuck these people. They're pieces of shit." Yeah, yeah. But we'll continue.
But I wanted to see him get not even just a happy ending, because it could have even been like he's right at the cusp of freedom, and there's somebody waiting for him at the end of the line, and boom, they just shoot him that way. Instead of, he's in the church, he's on his last leg. That's it. He knows he doesn't have anything else left to give.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
And it's like, it was great symbolism, but he's been through so much. He got beat up by a fat dude. He was shoveling dirt for 6 hours.
T-Pillow gives a good example here.
Oh, T-Pillow. T-Pillow 2010 says, I don't know why Cool Hand Luke reminds me of the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest with Jack Nicholson. That's actually a good comparison. Because
it is. It really is.
He fights Jack Nicholson's character fights against the grain of establishment with the institution that he's put in, and he dies at that. And that ending's like the symbolism is very similar. At that point, like Chief kills him because he got lobotomized, and he's like fighting against the system. Like he wants to be put in an institution in Cuckoo's Nest because he doesn't want to go to jail. So he's like pleading insanity. So yeah, no, I that's actually a really interesting comparison. I actually wouldn't even thought of that if you didn't mention that. Tipo, that's an awesome comment. That's
thank you for coming back.
As always. Yeah. Thanks for coming back. You're a man.
And I guess it's not so much that I hate it. I just really, really disliked it. Is when he's essentially having his monologue with the Lord, and he's like, if you have a sign to show me that I have something more left to do, show it to me. And then he's, that's when the sirens come in, and it's all like, so that's your answer, huh, big guy? Yep. So it's like he made his peace, and it's like, no, don't give up. That was your whole persona. You don't ever give up.
I don't think he didn't give up because he's still like disrespected authority even at the end. He said, like, oh, what we have here is failure to communicate. Like, he just says the same bullshit at them, and that's when they shoot him. I don't think he was expecting to die at that point. But I don't know. The whole time he's like fighting against authority. I mean, it eventually like catches up to him. And I don't know. I found that pretty interesting. I understand why you didn't like the ending. You want him to escape. I wanted him to escape, but like I think it just made it more philosophically like interesting that he doesn't. And he dies. I don't know.
The ending does a full circle. It makes the movie end properly, but like I said, I agree with Jerry with this. Like,
yeah. No,
like, it could end with a giant fuck you at the end, like him escaping. He does like he gets his better life, and everyone sees him like doing better.
I think that would have been such an easy ending. I think like how he dies, it just makes it more complicated and makes you think a little bit more. Like if he escaped and like it was like his days were fine and dandy, like I think it would have been made it too simple. Like it would have been like, all right, there's cherry on top. Like I think it makes you think as an audience member, like, oh fuck, like he's dead. Like what was he did? Like what he did, was it right? Was it wrong? Like should he have followed authority? Because if like from what he did, he like broke basically toll booths, not toll booths.
It was parking meters.
And he was like going against the man even then. And like that's what made the people, the audience on their side, because he's going against the man. Like I guess this was originally a book. It's a little varied from the movie, but I don't know. I just think it made it like if he went off and like had a wife and had those two girls, I think it would have made it too. It would have made it like a Disney end. It would have made it too simple for me. It would just like would have put the cherry on top and the bow on top, and it like I don't know. It just like would have like made it way too simple and not conflicting. Like you don't like think about it. It's like, oh, you made it. And then you don't think about it. But since he died, you're like, oh fuck. What? So what? If what he did was it the right thing or a wrong thing? That's what I find really interesting. So I don't know.
I agree with you there. It was interesting because all his choices, finally came back full circle. But I'm like, I would have liked to see him get close to the finish line, and then they just take it away from him.
Yeah. I mean, like he kind of came close to the finish line like 3 times. I guess like if he got a little further and escaped, and then they killed him, I guess it would have hit. Like like you said, it was like 2 hours long, and I think if it was any longer, it would have just felt too long. And it was already a slow burn, so I think it like hit when it needed to. And like the whole time he's questioning authority, and plus he's questioning God while he's questioning authority. He doesn't even know if God exists. He's just like like when they have that lightning storm, he's out there. He's like, oh, let me know it. Like hate me, love me, kill me, let me know it. Like when that thunderstorm's happening.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I'm just standing in the rain, and that's what's happening. And then like so
like I even think, that was a good foreshadowing, because you don't even realize it until the very end. He plays it off as standing in the rain, but really he's trying to, test the metal of, the religion of like, okay, God, do you want to spare me or do you want to take me? Because he's waiting to see like, oh, am I going to get struck by lightning? Okay, so you're not going to take me. And then at the end, he's like, well, you didn't take me before. Are you going to take me now?
And they took him.
And they did. I mean, I thought that was more interesting. I think if it was like a happy ending, it would have made it less potent. Like what he did would have been like a little less interesting. I don't know. What do you think?
I can give you that one.
Yeah.
I can give you that one. That would have made it too easy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
I just would have. I wanted to see him at that finish line just one more time.
Yeah.
And it's like, right at the threshold.
A little bit further. Yeah. Maybe if it like, it would have been wild if like he was like with those 2 girls and then he got shot. That would have been kind of wild. I kind of
Yeah.
get what you're saying, but oh no, I kind of get what you're saying, but I think I don't know. I think it, like how it's already slow burn and like what it made it. I don't know. Like it's made it a little too long. You know. Okay, put this on. Hello.
Hello.
Somebody.
How you doing?
My headphones died.
Yo, no.
Oh. Oh, no.
I'm like listening. I'm like, it got really quiet. Is it
I
my
was like, his
end, or is
headphones
it-
must have just died.
I was like, oh, it just said goodbye in the middle of the sentence, so that's why it only goes like,
I think
oh,
it's telling us stuff.
okay. Okay, that's how it goes.
Don't worry, folks. We're slowly getting better each time.
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
We're gonna
Well, I
figure this
think-
out.
I think you guys enjoy our screw ups.
Okay, so okay.
whatever.
So like, I got what you guys didn't like about it. But what did you guys like about this movie?
I liked a lot of how, you said he's just against the system. He gave a lot of hope to the prisoners. He showed the warden and even the other guards that, hey, no matter what you say, I'm still going to do what I please. Even though with the scene with, Luke coming back and they make him dig up all that dirt to try to break him, even within that happening, he still retained the cool hand Luke persona that he's been portraying as, yeah, you might have won this time, but you're not gonna get me again. And then also the whole the car wash scene with Lucille, he's just like, you idiot. She knows we're enjoying it. That's why she's putting on the show.
Oh
Yes,
yeah, that's one of like the most famous scenes of the whole movie. We didn't even discuss that. Yeah, yeah.
No. Oh God.
Dragline's like, someone so sweet can only be named Lucille, and like today, from our context, that's like a pretty old. That's like an old person name, no one's really named Lucille. But like from the 1960s, like that was probably like one of the top names. I don't know, but I'm just
like you said, Dragline's all like, put him on here, boss.
Yeah,
work it, baby, work it.
He has
Lucille, my Lucille.
He 100% has the best lines throughout the whole movie. I think.
Oh no, hands down,
the most
easily.
He's one of the most interesting characters out of the whole thing, right after Luke. Bye, Jerry.
I just have to run and grab my laptop charger. It's gonna die.
That's all right. Matt, so what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are basically the same way. I love the score. I like the characters.
The score is really
good.
The score is
very good.
I like the scenery shots, like we were saying beforehand. It's just like it's just like that's all the good things I liked about it. The story was, if it was just a little bit faster paced, or like some things were like just kind of like quicker with it, like explaining it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like a little bit more invested, and like instead of like just being like slowly tuning out to it.
Wait, say that again. So you would have been more invested in what?
I mean, more instead of being like slowly untuning out, tuning out, slowly tuning out of it. If it was more of like a faster pace, like let's say the movie got sped up, it was not like a 2 hour and 3 to 10 minute movie. It was like more like to like an hour and 45 or maybe an hour 50. I'd be kind of picked up more to it.
I mean, I get what you're saying. Like the pace is a little slow, but like once I'm thinking about like all the scenes, like I can't even think of one scene that they could have cut out that would have like improved the movie. I think all the information that's in the movie, if they cut any scene out, it just wouldn't hit. It wouldn't hit as much. Like if they cut, I can't think of one scene that could have cut out. I can't think of one.
Okay.
I get what you mean. Like it is slower movie. I think that's just like the case of old Hollywood, and I feel like I'm in a prison call right now. Like how they have that like the phone. That's what I look like right now. Man, I feel like that. So like I feel like I'm in the movie right Um,
Well, you
before-
dressed for the characters. So
yeah,
like,
yeah. Well, I
get
got
with
the
it.
jean shirt on, so I felt like it was appropriate for. I mean, I could ask you to take it off, boss, but I mean, there might be a few people who want that, but I don't think most of the audience wants to see that. But T-Pillow has another comment. He says movies that have a happy ending aren't as memorable to me. With a protag has been through hell. Oh, so the protagonist has been hell and back. We automatically assume that they deserve a happy ending, but that isn't how life works. And I completely agree. If it was like a Disney tale, fairy tale ending, it wouldn't hit as home for me, you know,
T-Pillow,
like
why are you speaking
because
for?
that's not how life works. Exactly. I 100% agree with T-Pillow. It's just funny to say that name, but I 100% agree with that comment. I think if it was a happy ending, it would have felt like a Disney fairy tale movie, and that's really not how it works, you know. And
Yeah, I agree with
I
that
agree.
too.
Mm-hmm.
I know, especially, I guess now Hollywood movies versus, everything from Cool Hand Luke and everything in between. It's been, a mix of, oh, I'm a mass murderer, but, I helped save this remote village somewhere from being, wiped off the map or bulldozed or something. So,
Mm-hmm.
I deserve a happy life. Is like, no, you help them, but one blessing doesn't erase away like 3 sins.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, even though I have I said hate, even though I had my dislike of the ending, it was still very fitting. It's Luke was a criminal. He did bad things. He didn't follow the rules. And what happens when you don't follow the rules? You get put in timeout. What happens if you get put in timeout too much? They just say, you know what?
They just take you out.
We're going to take it away from you.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. I think if he lived, like I said, it would have been too easy. It just would have been too easy of an ending. And I like how at the end, like once they pass the traffic light, it's a red light, so it means like his soul has passed away. And I think in the beginning it starts out with a light, like a green light or something, showing like that his
I
place
think
is still
so,
there.
yeah.
I know, especially with the ending, like it definitely ends with a red traffic light, like his life has dissipated. I thought that was pretty cool. There's a lot of interesting symbolism. I mean, obviously it's like kind of Christ-like, but like it's not like like this character is like not so pure and interesting. Like I mean, not so pure. He is interesting. That it makes it like, oh, he's the savior, like the obvious savior, but like he's the levity that the inmates needed. And I wanted to say the 50 egg scene, like no one could eat 50 eggs in an hour. Why couldn't you say 37 or 35? And that scene, I thought it was really cool. And I've looked up the challenge on YouTube, the Cool Hand Luke challenge, which I don't know, maybe we'll do that.
How many throw up scenes are there?
Huh?
How many throw up scenes are there?
I haven't seen any. What I've seen people do the 50 egg Cool Hand Luke challenge in under 3 minutes, which is fucking disgusting. And I was like, how is that possible?
What?
So
Do they just make a huge omelet?
No, they did the hard-boiled eggs and kept going. I mean, they had water. Like Luke didn't have any water, so that would make it like more extremely hard
That's
to
the
do the egg.
God.
You know, so like they're like, well, I've seen these other challenges on YouTube. They have water, so they're like guzzling it down like after every like couple so eggs. So it is possible to do it in an hour. I guess it's possible to do it under 3 minutes. I don't want to underhand, cool hand Luke's, sacrifice. But
You gotta step it up, Luke.
yeah, you got to do it under 3 minutes, I guess. But Matt, I feel like at some point we should do the Cool Hand Luke challenge. And
Oh
see if
God! Get over 100 eggs.
No, it's 50. We only have to do 50. We don't have to do 100.
Oh, meaning if we're gonna both have to do it, we have to get over 100 eggs.
Jerry, if you want to do partake, you're more than welcome to it. And if you
I
don't,
think I'll pass.
I completely understand. I would pass too. But I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be a fun video.
I'd rather drink 50 raw eggs than eat fucking hard boiled.
Oh, I wouldn't want to do that. That's awful. You get salmonella that way. That's how you fucking.
I know, but I'd rather do it that way.
Oh, that's terrible. I would want to do like I feel like I'm in a prison call. I'm in a cell right now.
Well, it doesn't help that you like hold the phone like at the bottom of your mic blends into the bottom, so it looks like an old like telephone.
Fuck. Well,
no, but
I forget what I was saying.
I was gonna bring up earlier. I was just looking up. I was trying to remember this movie. Like how you haven't seen like old Hollywood like kind of stuff. I remember that movie that came out like a couple years back, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that.
Yeah,
I have to watch that. I was thinking maybe like don't give me any spoilers.
No, I'm not giving you anything. It has nothing to like. There's ups and downs, but there's nothing like directed with this. But like it goes back to how they filmed it, like how it's such a slower pacing.
Yeah, I heard
some
people
action wise. Because Brad Pitt's character
either love it or they hate it. That's kind of like what
it's conflicting.
Yeah,
it's really conflicting with that movie because there's a lot of scenes like when it's Leonardo DiCaprio, like it gets slow, but when it's Brad Pitt, picks up because it kind of works well with the characters, like the actors that way because that's how they are. Where like Brad Pitt's always been the action star, so why not give him the faster pace? Leonardo DiCaprio. Give him the slower pace because he's been the true actor kind of like style of the way. So that's how that movie goes. But like I'm trying to get with like that movie's like pacing is so like it's
old Hollywood. I think it's probably
old Hollywood.
Supposed to reflect.
There's a random weird heartbeat part with the Brad Pitt's solo scenes, but like then later on flat like goes back to that flat slower pace.
Did you finish it? Did you watch the whole thing?
I saw it in theaters. No.
Did you fall asleep 3 times in theaters?
No. I was getting close.
Yeah. I don't know. After I saw that Mortal Kombat movie, I was like, fuck, I need to see like something classic in like old Hollywood. And so that's why I picked this movie. I watched it literally the week before, so I was like, all right, I gotta watch something. That's good. So if I was gonna re-rate, I don't know what I rated a fucking Mortal Kombat movie. I'd probably give it like a 4 or 5.
Oh jeez.
I didn't like it.
Oh jeez.
I didn't like it. I thought maybe like it set up maybe like future like setups for other movies that would be more interesting. But if I just wish it took place in that first setting where the movie started. I don't know. I found this movie way more interesting than that movie. I know they're obviously 2 different beasts. It's just like the easiest thing to compare it to because it's the last thing we just watched for the podcast. I don't know. I think the more I watch this movie, the more I appreciate it because I know it's like kind of based on like a true story a little bit, like with the book. There was a real Luke Jackson, but like the guy who wrote the book, he was like a part of the chain gang in Florida, but he like heard stories of the like a Cool Hand Luke character. So we just got a comment from T Pillow. If y'all do quail eggs, you'll be fine. Okay, cool. Quail eggs are smaller than chicken eggs, but I heard
quail eggs is a southern thing.
I heard with quail eggs that if you actually incubate them from the grocery store, you can actually hatch a couple, which is kind of weird to me. You get to save some of the quail.
Oh God.
So, yeah, I don't even think they sell quail eggs where I am. I don't know about you guys.
We do.
I think T-Pillow might be somewhere in the South with me.
Jerry, I think we need you to send us up over 100 eggs.
I'll send y'all a box full of quail eggs.
No, just send us the quails. We don't want the eggs. We just want the
We're gonna let them just lay, and we're just
Let
like,
the
do we got
small
100 yet?
full quails whole. That's the trout.
Oh, jeez.
Fuck, I forget what I was saying. What were you saying, Matt? Go ahead. Would you say something?
I was saying something.
I thought you were.
No. You're rating, like re-rating the Mortal Kombat stuff, and we're just
Oh
like,
yeah,
what?
that movie sucked.
And you're going over how much
Um,
you appreciate this movie more,
Yeah,
because of it.
it's a real movie. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my bad thoughts. Okay, so I'm just gonna go into rating.
Got
With
it.
this movie, I think on a rewatch I would like give it like more of a higher rating. Well, like with rewatch ability, I think I appreciate it more than I think I enjoy it. If that makes sense. Like it's kind of like a middle ground. Like I really like this movie. I just want to say two snippet facts before I rate it. With the when they're paving the highway scene, when Luke's like, "Oh, let's get it done. Let's go." Um, they're actually paving a real highway in the film. Like
I would expect
like
that.
they literally did that. Like they paved the highway. So like today, if you go to that highway, that road, you could go like, oh yeah, Paul Newman did this, and so that's real, which is awesome. I just like the authenticity of old movies. Like they actually did this stuff. It's not like fake. Like obviously, like with movies and trickery, like it's like they have a facade always. So like it was harder to fake things back in that day. So that's why I appreciate more old Hollywood than new Hollywood.
Yeah.
Really, because it's like it has. I feel like it has more of a heart and story to tell, and plus that it's more authentic than like movies today. Like I feel like that Mortal Kombat movie, it's such an easy thing to target, but like that movie had nothing to say, and I think this movie has immensely more things to say than that movie. I know it's a fun time. All you people really care about is the killings and the deaths and everything, and that's all I care about that movie. I didn't care about the characters at all.
Well, they didn't give you a storyline. They didn't care about the characters.
They gave
That's
you
the
nothing.
problem. You had to come in with the
I think
knowledge of
maybe
the
like
game.
the second or the third or fourth Mortal Kombat movie would be pretty fun and pretty great. Like as long as they don't take themselves too seriously, it'll be like Fast and Furious, like how it just becomes dumber and dumber.
If Kato comes back,
yeah.
Okay, Fast
if
and
they
Furious.
bring back Josh Lawson, then I'm totally for it because he was the best part, and he's pretty close to me having my name. So just change one letter, and we're the same person. But I was gonna say, with the rating of Cool Hand Luke, I would give it an 8 right now. Probably on rewatch, like it's closer to a 9 than a 7. Right now, I would give it an 8. I don't know how you guys feel, how you guys would rate it. Well, we'll start with Jerry because
You've been going with me first every time.
Yeah.
If I had to rate the movie, I'd do the same. I'd give it a smooth 8. Even though there were things I didn't like.
Yeah.
It's it's a movie you can put on with the guys, have a couple of beers, and it's like essentially you're watching just a bunch of guys just hanging out, just even though it's on a chain gang, just having a good time.
Yeah,
and
it almost feels like a vacation, like at a summer camp at the same time, or like all together. It's
summer camp.
It seems like it's
a fucked up summer camp.
Well, yeah, but like it almost seems like the predecessor of Holes. Like this is the original Holes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Like, it kind of was.
Yeah, this is like the adult Holes movie.
Like yeah,
I didn't mean
like
to cut you off there. If you had anything else to say?
8 out of 10.
That's I mean, I'm surprised you're rating it the same as me because I thought you guys were. I suppose what you guys said, I thought you would have given a lower rating. So I found that pretty cool.
I mean, taking out personal feelings, it wasn't watching it one time. It's like I said, even with the slow burn, it's still a pretty good movie.
Yeah, it's solid. Yeah, I think anyone would appreciate this movie because it's like real solid like Hollywood movie of that time. I think one of the best that decade of these, like the 1960s. Because I can't really think of too many 60 films I even seen or even like would put to this caliber of that decade, you know. And it's all of its time. Like I know there's like some like iffy things that are in the movie. Or like I'm not gonna get. Dave Chappelle said that he won't get mad at a photograph, and like this is basically a photograph of that time. So I'm not gonna get mad at a movie that's, you know, over 70 years old at this point, or 60. What I don't know, but you know, I'm not gonna get mad at this movie. It's just like, you know, it's of its time. So what do you think, Matt? What are your thoughts? Final
I
thoughts?
was going with like a 7.5. Like Jerry said, it's like a good like you're gonna say like, hey, you're expecting us to be a little bit lower. Like Jerry did explain, like it was good. It's a good movie. It did have a slow burn. And you can't take away from all the like effort that they put into the movie and like what they put everything through and like the message they were trying to get through to you. And it's still a good watch, and like everybody should try to enjoy it and see what they can grasp from it. Yes, I did fall asleep 3 times. It's because of the burn. I didn't mean I didn't see the movie.
We're not talking about Bernie Sanders. Don't feel the burn.
No.
Oh my gosh.
But but it is still a good movie. It's just that the pacing is like slightly off. That I'm not gonna put that against it or anything like that. It's still decent. A good movie to watch.
Wow, I thought you guys were going to rate it a lot lower from what you guys were explaining, but it seemed like we're kind of on the same caliber of rating. You know, like we kind of feel the same, which is interesting. I thought like from everything you guys explained, you would have given it a low rating.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm glad you didn't, because it's real fine cinema.
Oh, I know the wrath of what if I rated this thing like a 5. I'll be gay. You motherfucker.
I mean, I would have been
you
really
piece
mad,
of shit.
but like I can't stop you from saying a 5. You know, it's definitely not a 5. There's no way.
I mentioned this to my dad that were reviewing this movie, and I said, we're watching Cool Hand Luke. Oh my, that's a good movie.
See, yeah, it's a dad movie. It's a very dad movie, and I knew
my dad's like.
I thought
like,
your dad
remember
would
this movie.
because your dad. It's a very dad movie. You know, like this.
Oh,
movie
he's like, I think he would rate it with like where you guys are, like the 8s or maybe like almost a 9 area. The way he was like talking about it, he's like, "That's a good movie."
Yeah, that's cool.
You need to see that movie.
Yeah. No, I think it's a movie, especially every guy should watch. You know, I think this is a movie everyone should watch at some point in their life. And I think the more I watch it, the more I'll appreciate it. You know, the more I'll get over like how slow it is, because I'll know I expect it. You know, and I think you know, I think most people feel that way. I can't talk for you guys, but I think the more I watch it, the more I'll appreciate it, the more I'll get out of it. So, yeah, no, that's cool. So, yeah, I don't know if you guys have any final things about Cool Hand Luke or Forgotten or anything else you want to shout out there.
I'm all good. Jerry, you got anything?
I think I'm good, too.
Okay. Well, I guess we're close to episode. So, 3, 2, 1.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Jerry, didn't you say you wanted like to tell us like something at the end of the episode?
Oh
like,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
I guess this is a pretty good time for you.
That off topic from Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah.
Jerry has something else.
Go for it, Jerry.
Next episode, be prepared because we do have an unofficial sponsor, and we're going to show you the way of a dragon.
Way of the Dragon. What is that?
The Way of the Dragon.
Is that
Crispy knows. Mateo knows. It's not thinking about it right now.
What is Way of the Dragon? I'm like thinking, is that a Bruce Lee movie? Isn't there a Bruce Lee movie like Dragon something?
Not this one. This is
not this particular one.
No, I know there's.
This is more fast paced, crazy, and a lot of nonsense.
Okay. All right. I'm looking at it now. I'm looking at Bruce Lee. Way of the Dragon.
This is not it. That's not it.
Don't worry, Josh. I'll tell you about it when we get finished.
This is
Bruce Lee. It is a Bruce Lee movie. I wasn't even
wrong.
No.
I was right.
I wasn't even wrong. You make me feel like I'm a stupid ass, and it's actually a Bruce Lee movie.
No. It is a Brooke.
What the fuck? I'm not wrong. It's a Bruce Lee movie. So what the fuck?
Well, no, we're not talking about the Bruce Lee movie. We're
No,
talking
this
about
isn't the movie.
What am I watching?
Just wait, Josh. It's gonna be great.
Bruce, what is it called? Way of the Dragon. What? What is it from? What year?
No, that's not even the title. It's just the main character's nickname is the dragon.
Oh, what the fuck? So what am I watching?
Just wait. Just wait.
Just see on next week's episode.
What the fuck? What was happening? It made me feel like I'm stupid. I'm like, yeah,
no. I'm actually there is a Bruce Lee movie.
I'm so confused.
My back of my neck hurts. My back of my head.
So wait, what are we watching? Wait, go ahead. Please explain this. I really need context right now.
Jerry, can you just do it for him, please?
We're gonna be showing you all the way of the house husband.
Damn straight.
What? The wave of the house husband? That's what
The way of the house husband.
The way of the house husband. That's a real.
It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original.
And it's a manga series. I still am dying to fucking read.
Oh my god! I thought we were watching Bruce Lee. Okay.
No, we're not watching Bruce Lee.
Wait. Is this a movie or is this a show?
It's a show. It's 5 episodes, but
so
every episode.
Are we watching all 5 episodes? Like what
you technically can, but we can.
We can, or we could just do the first episode. I think the first episode will be enough.
Okay, so we should do the first episode. Should we do anything else, or are we just doing the first episode?
Well, we can do a short with it. Like another thing that can tie to it.
It's Jerry's pick, so he gets to pick what we're doing. I thought we were watching Bruce Lee, but I guess
no, we're not watching Bruce Lee.
That makes me feel stupid. I'm like, wait, no, that's what it's called. Wait, no, I'm right.
No, you are. We never said you were wrong. But you.
Okay, so we're watching Way in the Household, folks. If you guys want to catch up,
Way in the House Husband.
What am I saying? Way in
the Household. It's the Way of the Household. How can we help you?
So we're watching Way in the Household and Way of the House Husband for next episode. If you guys want to catch up and watch it, before we talk about it, do so before next episode, which will be next Thursday. We're going to do this on Thursdays. That's the final, that's the day we all agreed on. So Jerry, you have anything else? Anything? I mean, we usually do short, so we could do, another thing if you want to think about it. We could reveal during the episode. It's up to you.
I'll think of something to let you guys know.
Okay.
If not, so we can just double up on episodes.
So for next episode, if you guys want to, not be spoiled or about the Way of the Household, and not the Way of the Household, I think that's some PLC show. Don't watch that, and don't watch Way of the Dragon. I mean, I would recommend watching Way of the Dragon.
Way of the Dragon is a great movie.
Watch it, it's Bruce Lee.
Yeah, you guys should watch it, but I guess we have to talk about it at some point since we discussed
brought it up.
But yeah. So okay. So I guess we'll close it out. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, this was Josh from BatYard's. BatYard Productions sending you off up and away until next BatYard's finest episode.
And this is Superman's pals, Matt and
Jerry, becoming super pals, one episode at a time.
Oh yeah,
yes,
you did it, man! I was like, oh fuck, we didn't even tell him like how to end the episode, and you did it. That was amazing.
Yes, you did.
That was amazing. You look better than I did when I was talking about Bruce Lee the whole time.
This is the talents of Jerry.
All right. Well, I guess we're watching The Way of the House Husband, not The Way of the Household. That's not.
And it's not Way of the Dragon either.
Not Way of the
it's
Dragon
not.
either. Why did I think of that? Didn't you say that? What am I?
Well, he.
Yeah.
I don't like talking.
All right,
No,
we're watching Way
it's-
of the House Dragon tomorrow. I mean,
we can watch it tomorrow.
the
It's on
house
Netflix.
Man of the household. Man of the house man.
Oh, you're reaching. You're reaching so bad now.
We're watching Way of the House Husband.
And that's it.
All right, we're watching Way of the House Husband. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled, watch that. Yeah, if you guys have, if you guys want to we want to have questions that we answer at the end of episodes. I think that'll be fun. So if you guys have any questions you want us to answer,
we just give T-Pillow something.
we'll answer them. So please send us them our way. Well, guys, thanks for joining us, and yeah, I guess that's it. Goodbye.
Bye.